Thank you, Teresa. And as always, it's wonderful to be with everyone. And yeah, to sort of really receive the talking stick from my dear friend Rolin. Scientific breakthroughs, literally, are potentially the game changer at the moment, because what they're revealing is the emergence of a radical view of reality, which is of a conscious and evolving universe as an entirely interconnected and unified entity, a living and loving universe that meaningfully exists and evolves from simplicity to complexity and greater individuation and understood interdependence and interbeing. And that means that collaboration and relationships at all scales are the main drivers of that evolutionary arc from simplicity to complexity. Yeah, evolution isn't driven. We're finding now, the evidence is uncovering now that evolution is not driven by random mutations, but by cooperation and coherence. And our living and loving universe is one where mind and consciousness aren't something we have. They literally, and I think this is Julie's favorite quote, they're literally what we and the whole world are. And what's happening now, apart from this amazing convergence of leading edge science with universal wisdom teachings and indigenous wisdom teachings, it's enabling a new narrative based on unitive consciousness. And this story of a living, loving universe that exists to evolve, and where we are, it's microcosmic co-creators. And such a unitive narrative, literally, it's so hot off the press, my fingers are burning slightly, but we've now got a unitive narrative that's been crafted by some members of the Evolutionary Leaders Synergy Circle that originally came out of a synergy circle that recognized that the United Nations SDGs and Agenda 2030 were just incapable of happening, coming from a paradigm of material separation. So this new scientific evidence, this convergence into a whole world understanding of reality has enabled a unitive narrative. And to paraphrase that great narrator of human experience, Joseph Campbell, I'll read his words. The only narrative that's going to be worth thinking about in the immediate future is one that's talking about the planets, the planet and all beings on it. This new narrative will need to be grounded in widespread unitive consciousness, which includes a felt sense, an experienced sense, an embodied sense of unity with all life, unity with the ineffable source of all being, and unity with the evolutionary flow. So the new narrative, the unitive narrative that's now coming forward, I feel is at such a time that it underpins and frames all that we're doing together, all that we're sharing together now and going forward. And it really offers an emergent cosmological, planetary, interspiritual, and social framing for us to empower us, to invite us, to inspire us, to link up, lift up, level up, light up together in this great journey of remembering and this great journey into wholeness. So essentially what it's supporting is us as a collective, unitive, cooperative and coherent community of experiential and lived intention of love, and to serve our conscious evolution and also our remembering that we're all Gaians. So I'd like to just complete with another quote and to paraphrase a great visionary of 100 years ago, Teilhard de Chardin, who after the First World War realized that unless we came together in this way, we could not ultimately survive and thrive as a planetary species. So what he said was that someday we shall harness the energies of love. And then, for the second time in the history of the world, humanity will have discovered fire. And what our unitive narrative and what we're here together to share is showing us that that someday is here and now. And as we wake up to the radical reality of a unitive narrative and our islands of coherence as experiential and embodied expressions of our conscious evolution, we'll also discover as a species, and for the first time, who we really and truly are and what we can evolve to become. Gaia's continuing emergence is embodied in collaborative and synergistic relationships and dynamic co-evolutionary partnerships, and now underpinned and framed by this unitive wholeness. The conscious evolution of humanity can be, as Gaians, can be an integral part of our planetary home's own evolutionary progress and purpose. So thank you, everyone. And I'm so delighted to be a companion and a fellow traveler on this journey home into wholeness.
Mm. Oh, I love you.